What's up? This is the Vinyl Casket, home to the lamest taste. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, all at one word, the Vinyl Casket, where you can subscribe, like, and comment, hit the bell for much, much more. Welcome back to another Casket Reviews. This is following up on my 10th episode of Rewind Reviews. This is a review for Hunger Games, Songbirds, and Snakes. Boom. Well, Hunger Games, the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Obviously, I wrote it down in my notes, abbreviated. This is... Oh, I didn't even pull up the IMDb for the information. This is the prequel movie that came out, I believe, in 2023. Yes. So this movie came out in 2023. Release date was November 17th, 2023. That was, maybe 6-7 months ago. Finally got to sit down and watch it while I rewatched and did the full series for Rewind Reviews. Watch this last. This is the prequel. It's a sequel to that series, but it is a prequel taking place before, with the main character being the main antagonist of the proper series. You get to kind of see how he gets to where he is. So basically, it kind of just shows where he was headed in life, who he really was, what kind of person he was, and what happened and his experience with the games that led him to become this crazy evil fucker. And basically, you also see how he influenced and changed the games to kind of lead to what they are in the main Hunger Games. So you see a lot of moving pieces and things that take place that were not set before Snow's involvement, and you see how his involvement sets up the first series as well as changes him for that series. And I really enjoyed it. I feel like all the acting in this movie was really solid. I think the transitions and the editing and the filming was all really good. And I think just I feel like it's hard when you write a sequel. It's easy to drop hints of things and references, but when you write a prequel that isn't Star Wars, I feel like it's a little bit harder to set. Star Wars and Lord of the Rings obviously established itself at a way where you were easily able in those prequels to mention and hit on things that would grow further into the future. Here it's a little bit harder. So my favorite thing that was in this movie that you see evolved in the later movies was Snow's cousin, Tigress. I thought that was great. She had a minimal role, but also a very important role in this. But she plays a very minimal role in the last, I think it's the last one, the last film of the franchise, part 2 of not Catching Fire, of Mockingjay. And you see that she's completely transformed and made to look like a cat, and you're like, what is this person? And then you find out in this movie that was Snow's cousin, and all this this relationship and how it gets to this point. And she witnessed this guy become this dirtbag, and then she's now helping the rebels. So that was a cool full circle moment when you get to find out way more about this character you barely see at the end of the last movie. Everything else, I really enjoyed the references and the growth, and you really get to see an emotional strain on this character and how he gets pushed over the edge. And the whole point of the movie is to see the transformation of this kid who's living in a world pretending to be a snobby rich kid when everything was taken away from him, and he's fighting to get the life for him and his family that he thinks he deserves, even though everyone's trying to take it away from him, when his dad's best friend is trying to prevent him from getting it because he joked, drunkenly joked about the games, and the games were established because of his father, and has been trying to tear down his family to end the games. And this kid unknowingly has pushed the games to go on forever now, and trying to fight him to save his family. So it's this weird back and forth where this one guy's trying to tear him down to save the world, and he's trying to fight through everything to free, have this freedom and this life for his family, and get what he thinks he deserves, and this prosper, right? And in doing so, he's actually ruining the world while trying to save someone. It's very convoluted and very interesting. Um, and I really liked it, honestly. A little too much singing for me. Like, there was some singing in the original four movies, but this was like a lot. There was more singing in this one movie than there was in the entire franchise. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. Like, visually, it was great. Acting wise, it was great. The story was pretty good. I think there's like a couple things that could have been given a little bit of more attention and some things that could have sped up a little bit. But besides that, it was cool. Obviously, it's not my favorite game, like Hunger Games scenario, because it's just in like this small ass arena. And obviously in the future, in the ones we have, it's like a big technical spectacle. But I like how we get to see how crude and different they were at the beginning and how what they get to now. Rating wise, we're gonna give this The Hunger Games the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. We're gonna give this a 4.8. I think it was really good. I think it ranks up there with the second and third movies of the franchise that I really liked. I think this movie was well paced. I think the acting and the writing flowed very, very smoothly, where I was just zoned in the whole time. I never wanted to pause it to go to the bathroom or anything. Like, I needed to see this movie. I wanted to, I was invested from start to finish. It was a really good movie. It's one of the best in the franchise. Do I think it's tied up there for like top 3? Really good. I highly suggest if you haven't watched it, watch it. This whole series has been great. I always wondered why people love this book and these movies so much. This is clearly why. They could honestly make 1,000 of these movies because there's like 74, 76 games. Like, I think that's awesome. With that being said, guys, get in the comments. What's your opinion? This is the Vinyl Casket, home to the lamest taste. You can check me out on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, where you can subscribe, like, and comment, hit the bell for much more. Do me a massive favor and stay lame.